Hey, what's up, Shining Otaku? It's Cloud9 here today to bring you guys a video to discuss a little bit about the manga docuseries known as Manben. How many of you out there actually know about this docuseries? Just to give a little bit of quick background in case you aren't familiar, you're like, what the heck are you talking about? It's the docuseries where Naoki Urasawa, the creator of Monster or 20th Century Boys, you guys are familiar with that, many other works as well, pretty much goes from studio to studio all across Japan and sits down and observes and basically records the process of many different mangaka and how they work. So, for example, he did an episode with Junji Ito, which you should see on the screen right now, where pretty much we saw Junji Ito at work. Junji Ito did the series known as Uzumaki with like the spiral face people, or if you know Tomie, he also did Tomie, which is like a story about a succubus that like goes around and like kills a bunch of people, mainly guys, and that's for the most part what that's about. He's known as like kind of like the legendary horror mangaka. But in any case, this series is to me very informative. So if you're like someone who's a professional who's trying to, who studies manga, or you're doing this professionally, this is something you'll definitely want to check out if you're not familiar with it. This was brought to my attention maybe like a few years ago or so, and I've maybe only heard like one or two people mention it since then. So Sean, if you're watching this, you're definitely one of those people. But aside from that, yeah, many people don't really talk about this docuseries, and it's something that I think a lot of the manga community could benefit from. In fact, to take that a step further, a lot of the episodes, I don't really think there's really been a point to really get any of them really translated. Well, there has been people that have translated, but as far as like from within Japan, I don't think anyone's really made a push to translate it, and I don't really hear anybody talk about it either. I mean, they even had an episode where it's the creator of Go-Go 13. If a lot of you guys out there are familiar with that, or if you're not familiar with that, that's basically one of the longest running manga series of all time. It's been going on since 1960, like late 1960s, is when it started. So it's basically a story about like a hitman. But yeah, there's a lot of information in there, a lot you can see in terms of how like their process is. I mean, you can even see on this video just like him working on his manga, them talking about, of course, the influences in terms of what got him to that point, why he decides to make certain decisions with his pen work, whether it be his inking or penciling. So I mean, to me, this is invaluable if you're someone who is like trying to go for like a more manga-esque style within your work. Now, there was a website that I came across called NaokiUrasawa.com. Now, that actually isn't hosted by Naoki Urasawa himself. Instead, it's done by someone anonymously, but this person actually took it upon themselves to actually translate many of the episodes. And it looks like they may have actually translated everything up until this point that's come out. So the series appears to have stopped around like 2017. And as you can see here, it looks like there's about 4 seasons. Now I do want to say, based on their latest update on the website, in July, I definitely do feel bad. The looks like the host of the website, they're going through some health issues, and they're battling cancer. So, I definitely want to take the time to wish them well. And of course, I'm not sure what their faith or what they believe or whatnot, but I do want to say, on a personal level, I do, want to pray for you and hope everything turns out okay. With that being said, guys, yeah, I definitely recommend going to this website called NaokiUrasawa.com if you want to check out any of these episodes. Again, a lot of interesting ones like the Takao Saito episode. Naoki Urasawa himself even does an episode on there. Where you can see his work. And again, he's done more than just Monster and 20th Century Boys. So this isn't necessarily a docu-series where maybe you might see like probably the more talked about mangaka, like people always talk about Akira Toriyama or like Ichiro Oda or Masashi Kishimoto. But definitely these creators are legendary in their own right, and Naoki Urasawa is definitely one of those that you can say it's like that. So it's still interesting to check this out. And again, if you're looking to do this professionally, I recommend watching this. Now, and also, guys, if you're new to Shining Otaku, it's your first time checking this out, we do a lot of videos related to manga, of course, mostly manga. We're going to be putting up a video this Sunday, and has been continuing his series, talking a bit about manga in different parts of the world. So just make sure you're on the lookout on that video. Anyway, guys, thank you all for watching, and I will see you later.